Okay, what's 1 minute? We don't have to worry about that. We still got to set up in the background anyway, so might as well be here. How's it going, guys? Good afternoon. It is 12:13 in the afternoon. Is it PM? It's usually PM, right? Because if it were in the middle of the night, it'd be AM. Right, so this is PM. So it's 12:13 PM, 77 degrees here in sunny South Florida, and it's freaking hot in my room for some reason. It's like 79 degrees in here. I'm going to check my air. It was nice and cool this morning. We're going to do some AI stuff today. So we're going to go over the 3 different AI generated or art AI generations that I use and that I have been messing around with. One of them is Leonardo.ai. The other one is MidJourney. And the one that I've been using the most is Stable Diffusion. And there's a couple of different interfaces or UIs that you can use for Stable Diffusion. I happen to have it, honestly, you know, it's people are screaming in the background, sorry. We have them installed locally. Sorry, there's people screaming in the background, so I'm just trying to see if they need any. I'll be right back. Definitely have to get a sign for the door whenever I'm streaming, because they tend to forget and they start like screaming at the top of their lungs out there. They talk from across like the house to each other. Like, man, freaking Neanderthals. All right, so where was I? Stable Diffusion. Many different UIs that are available to download and install on your own to work locally. Leonardo.ai is an interface online that you sign up to. It's like a web app. Let's say you sign up. It is a whitelisted only, and for free you can get about 150 credits or tokens, and each generation of one image is 1 token. So every day you get 150. It used to be 250, but recently they brought it down to 150, and then they also created a purchase plan so that you can actually be a paying customer and have more capability of more tokens for more image generation daily or monthly or whatever. So there's a little difference there. We'll talk about that in a moment. MidJourney is a Discord only UI. There is no UI, it's Discord. So they have a Discord, you get access to a bot system. For free, you get like 25 different generations, I think. And then once that's up, the only way to continue to use their service is to actually have a purchased plan that also gives you an amount of certain tokens, certain number of generations per month, and so forth. These all start, there's the lowest one I've seen is about $8 a month. The highest I've seen is about $70 a month. It depends on how much generation you want. Now, Stable Diffusion, like I said, is different because there's different UIs. Different companies have made different ones. I personally use the Automatica 1111. There's another one called Invoker AI. There's a couple of more that I just can't think off the top of my head, but there's a number of them. We'll probably look for them because I know there was a guy that was talking about them, and we'll probably watch that video later. The point being is you get to install that locally, and I'm going to show you that one as well because that's the one I use the most. It's a little bit different. It's more hands-on. It's a little bit more control of what you create and how you create it. So I personally like that the best. And the best thing about it, of all things, it's that it's absolutely free. So why not just go with that? Well, that's what we're going to look at and see what's the difference between all these different ones. So today's going to be a nice chat day about AI. We had some Division 2 in the morning, and now we're going to get going with this. Now, I have to get a subscription for the other 2 because I want to, and because I want to show you the full capabilities of it. But in the meantime, let me just launch my stuff here. Now, I have to be careful with some of these because of the fact that they are public. There's a public forum, especially a Discord one. And I have to be careful that there's no nudity in any of their images before I show them up, because there is that content. We're going to talk about that as well, because there is a tendency to have images that that contains some type of nudity or partial nudity. Let me start off with Leonardo. Okay. I'll switch over, and then if as needed, I will switch back and forth. Let's start here. Oh, and I should probably clear the chat is from this morning, by the way. Wonder if I can clear the chat. It doesn't clear on my screen. Let me try something really quickly. Where is the close-up? This one? No, it wouldn't do it. There should be one that has the chat itself. Maybe if I refresh it. There we go. Okay. That chat was from this morning because we had a stream this morning. So I just wanted to go ahead and clear that out. And we'll go from there. Perfect. So here we go. Leonardo.ai. In order to even use it, to have access to it, you have to sign up. Now there is a way of signing up. You do count me in, you put your email, remember whatever email you use, it's going to have you fill out something. Then you have to join their Discord. And in Discord, there is a couple of steps that you have to follow. Now, if you just read, when you join their Discord, there's one section that you just have to read, and it informs you what you have to do. And you do those little steps, and then you go into a queue to be whitelisted. Now, it does take a bit of time because there is a high demand to get in here, and you're going to see why when you see how great this thing looks. And it is really the next big upcoming contender against MidJourney. MidJourney presents beautiful images, and that's one of the reasons why it's almost flawless. Okay, there's not a lot of control other than your prompt, and you use a very detailed prompt to get some amazing images, something that I'm still working on learning, but it creates some amazing images just from a simple couple of words. Okay, now Leonardo.ai works the same way, and it also creates some amazing images, and that's where people are like, oh my God, this was free, and they were jumping in, and it has an interface. So because of the fact that I already have, I'm going to go ahead and hit launch app, but I'm going to do this on this screen just because actually I can do this. Let me show you what this looks like before I get. So at the very top, once you get whitelisted, you're going to hit launch app. It's going to say, yes, I'm whitelisted, or you're going to, if you're not yet early access, then you have to fill this out, right? So I'm not doing that because I'm already whitelisted. I'm going to go to this side here, just because I want to make sure that it does not give any of my personal information. Perfect. And now I'm going to go bring it back. Perfect. All right, here we go. What's up, Brink? So this is Leonardo.ai. This is the interface that is online. It is not running local. It is running on their system. It is not using up any of your GPU access or anything like that. Everything is done on their servers there. These at the bottom are recent creations that other people have done. If you do this drop down here, you can do game assets, and that's what all this is. And I don't know how all of these can be game assets. So I think that the categories are just a little bit skewed right now. But what I like to do is I just switch this to all, and then you can see everything that's been created by other people kind of as examples. Now, I'm gonna switch gears in between here for a second. I'm gonna do a search for MidJourney real quick, and I want to show you something that there's a difference. MidJourney. Okay, now I don't have a paid plan with MidJourney, right? So let's see if we can do this in 2 screens. Sorry about that. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Okay. So I don't have an account with MidJourney yet. I will have one in a bit. But there's a section on here that says showcase. So I'm going to click on showcase. This shows me some examples of and again, MidJourney on the right, and on the left is Leonardo.ai. And their showcase on MidJourney when you're not a member, this is what they show online. I don't know if they allow you to see the prompts, but as you notice, these dots down here, they don't work. Epilepsy, is that what it's called? So I can't look at the prompt. All I can see is it was a V5 upscale, and it starts with the prompt, but it doesn't give me the entire prompt. Now it tells me who created it, some guy named Habanero. Same thing with these. So if you notice, it says 18 hours ago and so forth. Now this was all created through their Discord interface, which I will show you when we look at MidJourney. But so that's one of the things. Now, if I look at any of these, now remember, I am signed in. There is no showcase to see in Leonardo.ai until you're whitelisted and actually get a login that you can log in. But when you're in and you're looking at the homepage and you're looking at the showcase of recent creations, if you look at any of them, it starts to tell you some information, and there's a ... right? I can just click on this one. And let's go ahead and make this big now. We don't need to see MidJourney for now. And so if you notice, this is great. This is all the information that was needed to make this image. Now, what's even greater is that you can see what it took, but also other images that were created with with the same model, not the same prompt, but the same model, but maybe a little bit different. So like, for example, if I click on this one here, this is a ship in a bottle instead. We're going to go back. Think. Let me go to this one. All right, so this is the part that I want you to look at. Wait, which one is which again? MidJourney on the right? Yes, MidJourney was on the right. So let me show you that again, just so that you can understand. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do it again. MidJourney on the right. And this one is Leonardo.ai. So this is the difference. Yeah, the ship is great. We'll look at that one in a moment. So if I scroll through, MidJourney's got some amazing images, right? There's some nudity there. See, they have to have a way of covering that nudity. So glad I went right past that really quickly. But so a little different. Okay, I got to scroll back up for a second. So real quick, there we go. So let's go back to the cat example. And we'll come back to MidJourney in a moment after we're done here. So here's the cat example. Let's look at the ship one. Ship is great, looks amazing. That you can tell that if you click on the cat one, it probably used very similar prompts. Galaxy environment, capturing a whimsical and small kitty. Winter, spring, wind, rainbow, a sprinkle of edible glitter. Edible? In an unopened dream magical jar. Trippy. 8K. Vivid. Ultra details. Colorful lighting. Surreal photography portrait. That's what it says. Can I make this any bigger? Actually, I can. Perfect. So that's what it says. Then they have the negative prompt. Negative prompt. Now somebody copied and pasted, so they kind of messed up here. This does not need to be in the negative prompt. This is just a copy and paste that went wrong. But again, here's the negative prompt. Ugly, duplicate, morbid, mutilated, out of frame, extra fingers, mutilated hands, poor drawn. Basically everything you don't want it to have. That's the idea. So if I look at the ship one, view of turbulent swells of a violent ocean storm inside a glass bottle on the beach, dramatic, thunderous sky at dusk, at center a close-up of large, tall pirate ship with sails breaking light. And again, here's a negative prompt, a bunch of random things that you don't want to happen. Now, here's the thing with negative prompts, just so you know. You can grab one of these and say like, yeah, this is all the stuff I don't want to happen. Like, for example, I don't want extra arms, extra legs, missing arms, malformed limbs, gross proportions, disfigured, out of frame, ugly. You can see this is all general stuff that people would not want in their generations, right? So you can take this and add this to your negative prompt that you always use, make it a standard. And then on top of that, continue to add to it. Now, it's going to change with what you're creating, but for the most part, this kind of covers the area when you're trying to create a person. This does not by any means cover this one per se, because a ship, anything written here, there was nothing about a person. So there's no extra limbs or extra arms or anything like that. So this is kind of a catch all just in case kind of negative prompt, which is, I believe, lazy. So, but everybody can teach their own. It's not Leonardo DiCaprio. No, this is Leonardo da Vinci. Oh man. Which one is easiest for making t-shirt designs? Asking for a friend. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at, and we're going to test that out. I tested it out yesterday. And by the way, we'll take one of these in a moment, but I want you to look at a couple other things before we move on. The other thing that this gives you, it gives you more information about the prompt that it created or what it took. The resolution, 640 by 832. Forget about when it was created. That was a while ago. That's actually wrong because December hasn't come. Oh, sorry. This is March 12th. This is like European way of putting the month, because I was going to say it's not December. All right. The guidance is 7, which tends to be standard, and the step count is 30. Now, step count in Leonardo AI, I was going to say DiCaprio, is set to be 30, and you can't change it on the free service. You can only change step count when you are a paid client. And I will show you step count on others, on my Stable Diffusion, as well as, I don't know, MidJourney doesn't have it at all, but I'll show you the difference in that later. That is an important process that needs more definition later, but for our purposes today, we're not going to talk about it. Just to mention that for the unpaid version, you don't have control of the number of step counts when generating something. You do have guidance scale and sampler that you can use. So all of this is the information for this image to be recreated. And then it tells you at the bottom, the actual model, the fine-tuned model that they're using here. This one's Leonardo Diffusion. This makes a difference. So let's go back and I'll explain why. Let's look at the fine-tuned models. If I click on this, these are the models that Leonardo AI uses to create different images. And you can use any of these. These are available to you. Remember how I was telling you before that when you're using Stable Diffusion, you have to download the models that you like? Ooh, that was loud. Max Tech. I'm going to call you Max Tech. Thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the Wolfpack. That was loud. Sorry about that. So when I was using Stable Diffusion, I had to get my own models depending on what I wanted to look like. And there's certain parameters that are changed different. That's where models are created. Now, these are the ones that Leonardo uses. So they have a Leonardo Diffusion, which we were looking at. And it's a model with incredible shading and contrast, great at both photos, artistic style by so forth. Okay. And then there's the RPG one, the model that is best at creating RPG character portraits with the ability of great photorealism. And then there's Deliberate 1.1, a powerful model created by so forth that is great for photorealism and artistic creation. Now, all of these can be used, and there's more. There's Vintage Photography, there's Dream Shaper, Leonardo Select, Leonardo Creative. These three are made by them. And then there's also for pixel art, battle axes. If you wanted to make items or game assets for your game, there's a bunch of different ones here. Christmas stickers, there's another one there. You could probably change it around. You were talking about stickers. That might be one that you would do. But this in itself is to generate specific Christmas ones. You could probably mess with it and change it. We can try that later. So as you can tell, they have their own models to use. Now, with MidJourney, you don't have any of this. You have MidJourney's models, whatever models they are using. Here's the other thing that's great. If you want to use these models on Stable Diffusion, the RPG one, the Deliberate, maybe even the vintage style photography, and I'm sure for sure the Dream Shaper, these are all available to download and install on your local Stable Diffusion UI, that whatever one you're using. They just happen to be part of Leonardo here, but they are available through another free service, kind of like GitHub, that you can actually get these models and download them and use them on your local system. So that's good. But these are incorporated in this. So let's look at some AI image generation. Now, this is the stuff that I was messing around with. This is where you actually create. I'm gonna read your actual questions there now. Give me 1 second. So this is where you actually create your AI. This is their interface, and I'm gonna go all through this. I'm curious what artists it emulates, because I know a lot of very obscure artists, but that have their work online. So there is another. Hold on. There's another website that I found that shows all the different styles. Let me see if I can find it. I know I bookmarked it somewhere, and I've been trying to go through all my bookmarks to actually, for AI specifically, to keep everything in one place. And I might still need to finish doing that. Types of photography. Let's see. Okay, lexica. Okay. Oh, here it is. Styles and keywords. Is this the one? Let me try this one. Let's see if I can find a style one. Styles. Okay. So for example, I'm going to show you this from MidJourney. So MidJourney has a list of kind of styles, MidJourney styles and keyword references. They have like a how-to guide. So when we get to MidJourney, this is kind of the stuff that they use. And so I look at styles, and I want to look at artists. So if I look at artists, it has all these different types of art. So let's say, for example, I want to look at modernism. If I drop this, it's going to tell me paintings by Kandinsky, Paul Cézanne, Lawrence Pelton, sorry, Amanda Sage. So it gives me some examples of the artists and style that they're using. So that's one place. There is another site that actually shows for Stable Diffusion all the different art styles that they use. Let me see if I can do one more search. Stable Diffusion art styles. Oh, here it is. Perfect. I just found it. Okay, here's another one. So Stable Diffusion artist list. So these are all the artists, and if you go through here, they're all in alphabetical order, and there's tons of pages, and you can see all the artists that are being used or that are somehow featured that you can do in the style of. I personally don't use any of the style of, but even when you do, it doesn't look like the artist stuff, just so you know. Like, you can take an artist and see something that was created in their art style and then go to their art pages and look at their stuff, and you're like, it doesn't look anything like it. But you'll see like maybe the eyes were like it, or maybe the mouth is like it, or maybe the face, but not in its entirety. So it's interesting how that works out. We'll have to see that more. But yeah, that's another one. I'll put those styles on the Discord under the Stable Diffusion channel that we have. And so that way we can have them there in case anybody wants to look at that. Okay, wait, so you don't have to get the whitelist and just download the models for Stable Diffusion? Exactly. The only ones you can't download, going back to home, the only ones you can't download are the Leonardo Diffusion, Leonardo Select, Leonardo Creative, and there's another one called Leonardo Signature, and all these other ones that they've created here. These might be available, but some of these were made specific. You see how at the bottom they said Leonardo. Anyone's made by Leonardo there, you might not be able to make yet. But there's another site. Now let me find you that site. And I will show this to you when we get to Stable Diffusion, but I'm just gonna give you a quick little preview of this. Oops. Okay, this site. Now you got to be careful with this site because it does have some nudity. Now we're going to talk about the nudity thing in a moment. But for example, this is called Civit, or it's basically civitai.com. CIVITAI.com. Now, all of these models are available here. So let me click on one of these. Now, you notice that these blurred ones, if you look on the upper right-hand corner, there's a little crossed over eye that prevents the naked ones from showing. Those are 18 and over. Obviously, I've got those covered because we're not going to be showing some naked stuff there. But let me grab a simple one for a moment. What I want to look at is I'm going to filter for a moment here and then filter this for checkpoints. Oopsie, let's do checkpoints again. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to pick one of these. Hopefully I pick one that is, oh, like this one. Okay, so Illuminati Diffusion. Let's go ahead and pick that one. Pretty much, I think I'm safe with this one. So this is a checkpoint, which is a model that you download. And you can download it right here. It's about, most of these models, by the way, are like 2 gigabytes. And I think I've seen one that's like 1.5 gigabytes, but they're basically 2 gigabytes and up. The biggest one that I've seen is like, so far, is 9 gigabytes. And basically what that means is it's been trained with more stuff because people create these. They're training a new model from images and so forth and from different styles of image. So this specific one is about creating one that has more darker shadows, like the contrast and so forth. And that's why you'll see what these images look like. They're a little bit more dark as opposed to light and friendly. So you download this, and then here, if you didn't know what to do with it, it's a checkpoint trained. And I click on this question mark. This is what I love about this site. And it tells me right here, fine-tune model checkpoints, download the custom model, place the model inside this specific folder in your Stable Diffusion. Okay, it tells you where to go for an automatic 1111, which is one of the most popular ones, by the way. It's probably the most popular Stable Diffusion UI, which is the one I use. Refresh your model list, and there they are. Select the custom model from the Stable Diffusion. So it tells you where to put it, what folder to put it, and so forth, depending on what it is. I love that. So that's where I get my models for Stable Diffusion. And if I was looking for the model for, like, let's say the RPG, that would be this one. And I'll click on that for a second. And so here's an RPG model. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is the same one. I actually use it. It's the RPG version 4, and you can get them. So you cannot download Leonardo's because those are specific to Leonardo.ai. That's good though. Glad it doesn't just straight up copy their style. No, it does not. It's not like I want a Picasso exactly like Picasso, and it creates a Picasso. No. You could, if you wanted to create a specific, like you have a Picasso, I'm just using Picasso as an example, and you wanted to create a Picasso, just change the coloring, whatever, and be the exact same thing, you can do that with the image of the Picasso that you want to copy. There is an image to image that you can actually do. And also like change it up, but still keep it as a Picasso. But that's kind of stupid. Why would you do that? I mean, some people might. Okay. Oh, so you can't download a couple of the best ones that tracks. Yeah, exactly. It's just like MidJourney. There is one. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. Maybe they named it MidJourney. Okay, so there's a couple that people try to do in the same style as MidJourney, but not exactly MidJourney. Like these are probably not good. I did get one that is very similar, but man, it changes so much, and their latest one is amazing. So that's the idea. All right, so let's go back here to we're gonna go over to AI generation. So yesterday, I was looking at the video that you sent me, Brink, about creating t-shirts through MidJourney. And so I went ahead and grabbed that same prompt that that guy was using, which is not this one. That was another one from MidJourney. And I used that same prompt without doing anything. So if I grab that prompt, put it up here, I'm going to change my fine-tuned model to be Leonardo's signature. That's the one I was using for these down here. And so if I do this this was the prompt from that video that the guy was doing the circular stuff. Now I used it a couple of times. Dream Shaper was the model that I used here, and we'll talk about the dog ones later. And but I got these, and so now we'll go ahead and create one and see what happens. Now there is no negative prompt right now. This is just straight up whatever comes out comes out. And so I'm going to generate. Oh, by the way, he's misspelled enclosed. Enclosed in a circle. So the prompt is action shot of a motorbike, synth wave, which I really don't like that, t-shirt vector, enclosed in a circle, sunset contour, white background. Now, if you notice, only 2 of them are with white background. So let's go ahead and generate 4. By the way, do you notice here on the upper right-hand corner, this will use 4 tokens because I'm going to generate 4. And I have 94 tokens remaining until this evening when it resets. Because I started it like at, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night one day. So my restart times is 7 o'clock at night. I get the 150 tokens. But I'm going to end up signing up for this account very soon. So here we go. Let's generate this. I'm pretty confident I'm not going to get any naked pictures from a motorcycle prompt. So I'm safe with doing this online right now. We're doing it at 768 squared, basically. The guidance is 7. Notice I can't change these steps. There's no step there. And so it gave me a couple of other ones. Let's look at the one from yesterday that I liked. So this is wrong because of the fact that the guy is sitting way back here. He doesn't even have his hands on the actual handlebars. So that's completely wrong. And by the way, when you find one that you don't like that's stupid, I'll never use that. However, maybe I do like the circle and the background image, and I could use that. So I may save that and use this in my Stable Diffusion to redo the motorcycle only, which you can do. So if you find an image that you're like, I like this background, I just don't like the motorcycle, you can actually use this in the Stable Diffusion one that I have and just paint in picture. Who's there? Alex Sun. Thanks for bringing some sunshine into our day. Welcome to the Wolfpack. So you can actually get the best one. So you can actually get the best image by redoing just parts of it. And I'll show you that later on. All right, so let's go ahead and close that one. So I can delete any of these if I didn't want them, by the way. Let's say I don't want this one here because this is stupid. What the hell is that? I'm not going to put that on a t-shirt. So let's delete that one. Down at the bottom, it should be a little delete can. Go ahead and delete forever. Yes, don't want that image. And by the way, the beauty of doing this on your local Stable Diffusion automatic 1111 that's local is that it fills up a folder of text images, and you can just go through and delete all of them if you didn't like any of them, or just grab the ones you want to work with. All right, so these are the ones we just generated right now. Any of these good? Probably not. I don't like that motorcycle up there. I'm not going to go through the process of eliminating some things off of it. I'm just going to regenerate. But there is a way of taking it as a seed and actually creating more of that same, which we can do, but I don't want to do that right now. Let's generate 4 more to see if we get something better. Is there anything that I can put as a negative prompt? You know, when it comes to these kind of designs, you really can't. I'm sure there's a way, but for me, I'm not worried about it. This is just an example. So we're going to generate, and this was a prompt from a video about creating a t-shirt design of a motorbike. All right, so this is a little bit better. So you see, you do this a couple of times, you might find something you like. Obviously, this is not something we would use because this looks like it's for a display. And again, why are you sitting back here on a motorcycle? And what is this at the bottom? That looks like feet holding a motorcycle up. I love the colors, but no, I would never use that. I'll go to that one in a second. This one here is also wrong. The colors are bright as hell, and that has to do with the prompt itself. But again, not a very good motorcycle, and the riding style just seems really awkward. So that one's wrong. So we have these two. Let's look at this one. This is not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad if you're just trying to start off with a t-shirt design. You could do some cleanups here. Take this off at the bottom, put your own labeling. You can remove some stuff or change some stuff around. But for the most part, the actual motorcycle does look accurate. The riding style does look accurate, and they are holding on to what seems to be the handlebars with a little mirror on the side there. So that fairly accurate. The only thing that I see here though is this circle. It looks kind of like it may have wanted to be like a helmet. That would have been interesting. So let's look at this last one. This is probably closer to creating some kind of an artistic abstract of a t-shirt design of a motorcycle with a background scene. Something to work with. But as you can tell, it's not perfect. This is not exactly perfect. This is not where this one shines. So this is from just doing it from a prompt. So I'm going to do something different now. By the way, I did the same exact thing by changing up the actual model. So I'm going to show you what happens if I change this model. And let's use, for example, let's use RPG 4.0, which is more of a realistic, and see if it does anything. And after that, we're going to remove synthwave because I think that's the coloring part. Let's go ahead and do this with the RPG model and see what happens. By the way, what's this style? No, we don't need a style. So totally from just an actual text prompt, not an image. All right. Completely different style. Doesn't even look right. One of the things that I'm noticing here, it's because of the fact that it's not entirely square. So the parameters change as far as the width and the height. So it's going to mess it up because it's giving it more room to play with. And because of the fact that we can't change a lot of the steps, it kind of messes us up there. So I'm going to put it at 768, both of them. Even though this model was trained at 640 by 832, it might not work the same. I'm still going to do it. So let's go ahead and run it again. See what we get this time. We're doing a square one. Did you get whitelisted for Leonardo then? Yes, I did. I got whitelisted a couple of weeks ago, like about a week or two ago. Or can you use it just with less tokens without? No, once you get whitelisted, then you get 150 tokens per day. When I first got whitelisted, it was 250 tokens a day, and they didn't have a pay model. But then they came out with a pay model a week after I got whitelisted, and they brought it down to 150 tokens for free users, and then they have a pay model, which is not terrible. They actually have one of the lowest prices. One of them is like $8 a month for, by the way, 150 times, let's see. I did this yesterday. I forgot what it was. I think it's like 4,500. So 150 times 30, let's say, is 4,500 tokens. Okay. Now, their model, the $8 and something cents, is 8,000 tokens a month. So you're just doubling the number of tokens you're getting. And if you think about, are you generating more? But there are a couple of other benefits to it. We'll talk about those in a moment. And the next one up is like 25,000 tokens, which is like about $20 a month or something. Is the free model okay for commercial use or only the paid? The Stable Diffusion one, it's free. Or I mean, as far as this is concerned, they don't have anything like, let's look at that. There is nothing here that says anything about being able to use it commercially or not. However, this is MidJourney, right? Go back. Let's do get started. Is it get started? No, it's not get started. I'm trying to find how to pay them. Nope, that's not what I want. Hold on a second. Sorry, I just had to move because some stuff was coming up. I have to sign in? Maybe I have to sign in. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you the difference. All right, authorize. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right, this is MidJourney. I'm going to go to purchase plan for a moment. And so I want to show you the differences between the two. Come on, Windows, work for me. There we go. So for example, this one down at the bottom. Ooh, they changed it. It's not here. Yes, here it is. So paid versions have this label right here that says general commercial terms. All of them say general commercial terms. All of the other ones on Leonardo.ai don't say anything about commercial. And so even down at the bottom, there was another one. If I looked at, where is it? How does commercial use work? If you have subscribed at any point, you are free to use your images in just about any way you want. For complete details, please see our terms of service. But yes, they have it here as far as general commercial terms. You cannot use their images that you create when you're creating it through their Discord. In other words, their system. With MidJourney, the images you make on the free version can't be used commercially used. Only the paid version is correct. With this one, they don't mention any of that. There is nothing here that says anything about, I mean, unless I'm missing it. You guys are looking at the same screen I'm looking at. But there is nothing here that says anything about preventing the use for commercial or not. Let's see. Here it goes, right here. Yes, under our terms of services, all rights to content belong to the person who has generated it. So according to them, that's what they're saying. They're saying anything you create. And they're not saying the free ones, but they're saying basically anything. All right, let's go back. Yeah. So again, get whitelisted into this. And as far as the stable diffusion stuff, it's on your computer. You're creating it locally. You're then putting it to Photoshop. You're doing whatever you want to do to it. You're creating your graphics. It's yours. And listen, I know that there's going to be people that are going to be angry that I'm saying that, but it's the truth. And I'm going to show you why I say that, because it is a process. This what I'm doing right here is not a process, but it's pretty like dumb proof. We were looking at images generated, right? And we were looking at like these were just generated. Here's one with that other style. Same, it's a different model, same input, right? Look a little different. It's a little different of a design. Maybe not what we're looking for. Oh, cancel that. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so I just hit something and I don't want it, so I'm going to get out of that screen and then I'll come back to it. All right, that's good. Now, so that's the RPG model. Let's switch over to a Dream Shaper model for a second, and we're going to go ahead and make this 832 by 832. And that's not what it was trained on, but that's what I'm going to do. So let's generate that one and see what it comes up with. I'm just using a very simple prompt that was used in that video before, just because it's safe and it can give you 3 different styles. So here's a different style. You can probably make that into a circle on your own. This one looks cool. I like this one. I could see me using that if I were. Is it accurate? Not really, because I can't tell what this looks like an arm, but I know the arm is here. So there's extra limbs. So now this is where we have to put negative prompts in. This one looks legit, except for the fact that it looks like it has training wheels at the back here. Not bad. This was completely wrong. I mean, the wheel completely came off, and there's an extra pair of legs in the back with no body, so somebody just had an accident. And what's the last one? And this one, of course, also is wrong. There's an extra person's foot there. So you see, And that's because we didn't put any negative prompts. So it's just generating off of these words here. Now I want to switch over for a moment. And this was another one that the guy was using. So I'm just gonna grab this real quick. Again, no negative prompts. And I'm gonna use the Leonardo signature version. Let's see. I'm gonna put it as a 70. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that 768 by 768. I'm gonna go ahead and generate 4 tokens. I'm down to 68 for the day. That's okay. And here's the thing with tokens. If you're gonna generate a lot, like 150 tokens, that's 150 different images that you're gonna put out. And let's say out of every 4, one of them is good. You gotta think of it that way too. 1 or 2, like in this case, I think I see, man, I got a couple of good ones. Like, for example, I like this. This is pretty cool. I don't see any deformities other than this right here on the side. I would need a minimum of 600 tokens a day. Yeah, and I think you could do that with the 25,000 one. That's the one I was looking at. But look at this. But again, I would suggest anybody that's just getting into this, I'm going to show you Stable Diffusion now. Do the free one first. Start messing with it. Understand it. Because that's the one that's going to cost you nothing and you can generate all day long as you have the right models downloaded. But look at this. This isn't bad. We could use this. We can clean this up and it'd be good. Let's look. What was the first one? Well, this is a little bit stupid, but could you put this on a t-shirt? I mean, it would make no sense. Why would I do that? So that's the dumb one. How about this one? Looks pretty cute. Maybe change the wording around. Anybody likes those short little dogs like that? Not bad. It's not abnormal. There may be a couple of little abnormalities here or there, but for the most part, it looks pretty accurate. And this one too. This is a cute one. And this was off of a dog with sunglasses and doesn't have any real deformities. So out of the 4 that I just generated, 3 of them are workable. If this is what I was looking for. Pretty cool. All right. Before we leave Leonardo, I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to go back. Now, let's say that I saw something here that I said, I want something like that. Maybe this one. Oh boy, I'm going to be afraid to do this one, but okay. Let's say I like this one. And I'm like, well, let me see. I'm trying to be safe here, people. How about I know. We'll do the bottle. All right, let's do the bottle. That's probably safer. So let's say I want this. I'm going to copy the prompts. I'm old school. I like to copy prompts to Notepad just because I know it could memorize it for me and put it in there, but I like to do it this way. It also gives me a chance to have them so I can review them and see if I want to change anything later. And if I really like them, I save them. And then let's see, 640. Okay, I'm going to remember that because this is all going under Leonardo Diffusion. And it's using the Euler discrete. 30 steps is standard, 7. Okay, so I'm good there. 640 by 832. So let's go to Diffusion. There it is right there. It's putting that one. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to bring, I'm in the last one there. Okay, good. 632 by what? What did I say? I think I said 632 by 840. Wonder if I could type it. Nope, I can't. Maybe it was 832 by 640. Yeah, maybe it was that. 640 by 832. Perfect. Let's go with that. So I put that in. I'm going to do 4 images. I can only change the guidance, which I'm not going to do. It is using Leonardo Diffusion. I am not changing anything else. And I'm going to grab my prompts from that one we just did, that one we just looked at. I don't know what this squiggly sign is here. I think that was a typo. I'm just going to leave it for now. And then I'm going to grab this, which is the negative prompt. So I'm going to put that in there after I clicked on there. Now, again, this negative prompt has nothing to do with a ship. This is mostly for body, but I'm just going to leave it either way. Doing exactly the same way. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and generate and see what I get. And this is going to be the example that we're going to use on the other services. All right. So very similar to what we've already encountered, right? Very similar. So you can definitely recreate the image, right? Just by that prompt. Look at that. I mean, I'll just leave it up there for a second. Just from putting that in, because I liked that one that guy made, I want to make mine similar to his. I'm just going to use his prompt and put it in and see what it comes. Now, I could change it maybe and break it. Like, for example, maybe I could say instead of thunderous cloud, I'm going to say clear sky at dusk. What will happen then? Can I say, and then what if I don't want turbulent swells or the violent ocean storm? I just want view of swells of an ocean storm. I'm not even going to say violent. Will that change it? How about inside the glass bottle on the beach? Dramatic clear sky at dusk, a close-up of a large, tall pirate ship with sails breaking light. Okay, let's try it like that. I just removed a couple of things. What will I get? I probably screwed the whole thing up. Very similar, but also messed up. The biggest difference is this one. Forget the other ones that are broken. I'm going to look at this one. There's clear skies. There's swells. This is not, it's listening to what I said, but it's not very accurate, right? And it's still in a bottle. This is completely wrong. But you notice that the first prompt, it got it right on the first time. It got lucky. Let's do it one more time with our clear skies, because we don't want this crazy turbulent skies, right? Just because. So let's see what happens. Let's do it one more time with ours. We only took away a couple of words. We took away the violent, and we took away the dark skies, thunderous skies or whatever. We put them to clear skies. Much better. So now it wasn't that the prompt was broken. It's because it's randomly generated. So sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it's not. And now we have something a little bit better to deal with. Now, do we, I keep saying now, by the way, do we like any of these? I don't know. I mean, this is kind of stupid. It's not even a freaking pirate ship and it's too small. This one has 2 ships on it, but I kind of like this. Even though this is completely randomly generated, doesn't fit what we put in, but you notice there's 2 ships. So it's like one ship chasing another. It's kind of cool. You never know what you're going to get. This one has the clear skies. Wait, let me go back for a second. Yeah, look at the clear skies behind though. That's what's cool. This one here has clear skies. The only thing I don't like is, what is this netting stuff here? Is this cracking? I'm not sure. So that's kind of like a defect. The ship was great. The clear skies are nice. What's the last one? The last one doesn't really work for me. So you notice that you never know what it's going to generate. Now, if we go back to our original, if we run it again, will it give us the same exact ones? Remember, this was the original ones. By the way, they were really good. The pirate ship prompt is so dumb to me. Why not say sailing ship or clipper ship? Well, let's try that. Let me write that. Which one? Let's say with the large, tall sailing ship. Let's see what it does. I'm not sure. We'll find out. So let's generate. I love that people just put pirate because of the fact when you think of in a glass bottle, you imagine like a pirate ship, I guess. I'm really thirsty today. So out of all of them, I like this one. This looks pretty cool too. Notice the water. Oh, that's water. That's what it is, splashing inside of the bottle. And then this one here. First and fourth are good. Yes, I would agree with that. Definitely like the fourth one. So there you go. So that is a quick way of doing it. Now, what if we were looking for some, so this is an example of how to do it from somebody else's prompt, which is basically what a lot of times when people starting this out, that's how you learn. You use other people's prompts to see what it generates. This is a great thing about being able to see a showcase like this, you know, and go through it and say, let's see, so newest. And like I said, I always have to be careful. Like they don't have a block of nude pictures, so I have to be careful. Most of the time they don't really, there isn't a lot of nudity in here, but I'm always careful. You never know. Here's an astronaut. I'm just looking. This is the newest stuff. And if you could tell that the newest stuff is not as great because people are trying things out. Let me see. What's this guy doing? Okay, let's try this for a second. I'm curious to see this one. So I'm going to copy this. What are they using? They're using RPG. Okay. We're going to try one more and then we're going to move on. I'm afraid, but I don't think I don't think any of these were trained with porn stuff. So I think we're good. And we're going to talk about that because I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. That people are now using pornographic images to create a model, and a model is specifically for creating pornographic images. But these are not them. Some typos in the prompt. Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll fix them. So this is going with RPG model. This is a 640 by 832. All right, that's fine. Let's go ahead with this. I'm trying to stay away from just doing a girl because it's so easy to create girls. Girls are beautiful in this when generating them. They come out really great. All right, so we got the right RPG one. We're going to go ahead and clean this up. Let me read through it. A man's spirit departing from his body, leaving a trail of ethereal light in its wake. Full body, ultra high definition. Very detailed, perfect Unreal Engine 5, 12K, high quality, photographic, realistic lighting in the background and studio, photography, full, long, high, intricate detail, light and shadow effects, intricate, high detailed, digital, a lot of redundancy, digital, or digital painting, art station, concept art, smooth, sharp focus illustration, advanced digital anime art. He basically covered everything, including ArtStation, which is actually a design place. So let's go ahead and grab that, put that there. Why would you use 12K as a prompt? I've seen 32. I've seen 32 as a prompt. It's crazy. It's almost as if the quality, yeah, 32K. It's almost as if the quality is even better. I know. I don't know. I don't understand. It started with 8K. That was the very highest one I saw when I first started this about 2-3 weeks ago. And then I saw 12K and I was like, wow, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, the last thing I saw, which was this past weekend, 32K. And I created some images with it. And I was like, wow, they look great. But I mean, did it matter that it was 32K? Okay, I'm going to use their negative prompt. Not sure. I didn't see anything that was misspelled, but we'll see. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, here we go. So we're putting that in. We're going to do it to... what was it? What was the size of it? I can't remember. Oh, man. Let's do a 640 by 832. There we go. 640 by 832. Okay. All right. Let's see what we get. This is the guy. Let's see if we get anything similar. Running. Oh, I'm only generating 2. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why I changed it up, but okay. Nothing at all like it. Completely not. Look at this. This is completely wrong. Guy's down here in the, I don't know what he's doing. And then this one here, this is nothing. He's just walking away. All right. So Totally did not get what I expected. Let's try 4 on this one here and let's see. It's a hit or miss, man. Okay, so this is better. If anything, I think we might have to do like facing us. So just so you see these, let's look at these up close. A man's spirit departing from his body, leaving a trail of ethereal light in his wake. Full body, ultra high definition. Very detailed. His face is not very detailed. The concept is right. It's there, but it's not 100% accurate. All right, so then we're going to go to the next one here. We don't see any face. And this is a lot of muscles there. So this is what we get. Now, let's venture in, taking this same example. And by the way, if you want to see some of the stuff I've generated, here, I'll give you an example of that. First, I got to go back. And then I go into my AI generation. And so this is the stuff we just created a second ago. I think that I'll have to do my previous. And I don't think I have any nude. There's probably a nude one because that's what came out, but that's okay. I'll try to. I was messing around with a warrior of some type, some Viking guy. I also did a Diablo-style Viking guy, which was off of a different prompt. I was changing things around. We got the same Viking guy with more of a brown tone, which was the original, and some yellow eyes. Then we decided to go a little bit blue. We added some blue Vikings there. We might be using those for some things. And then we started working with some girls with armor holding a sword. Now, just want to point out a couple of these so you can see the detail. This is a 32K. And she's wearing a white bikini. The armor style. I believe this was using RPG, yes. That says a couple of things. This is probably another one that I was working with, was a different one, had nothing to do with swords. The eyes were a little bit weird, but other than that, it's pretty cool, the stuff that I was able to put together. Trying to stay away from these nudie things, but it's kind of different generations there with different embroidery. So as you can tell, a lot of different stuff you can do. Okay. So there you go. That was Leonardo. Now let's switch over to MidJourney, and we're going to use the similar prompts that we did for the boat in the glass and for the guy. Because the guy we could not get right. Nord After Dark prompts. Yeah. Actually, I was trying none of those prompts. It was the same exact prompt with a couple of different colors. But none of those prompts said anything about topless or nude. And some of them would come out with topless features. And I'm like, I did not ask for that. Why are you giving me sexy stuff like that? And so that's what I was talking about. But it was not, there was not meant to be nude. They were actually sheer, if anything. But it is what it is. Let's see. So this is a subscription for MidJourney. And like I said, MidJourney runs off of Discord. So I'll go to the Discord. And I'll go to their MidJourney. Just going to double check, make sure there's nothing creepy. Okay, I think we're good. I do not have an account for MidJourney yet. Considering it, like I said, for testing purposes. But for now, we are going to go ahead and use their, I think I may still have some free ones, but the way that it works is you go into one of their newbie areas, right? And so any one of the newbie areas, and everyone's generating in them. So I'm going to use the same generation techniques. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to grab our view of turbulent swells and pirate ship, and I'm going to drop that down here. And the way you do it is you have to do imagine, oopsie, imagine space, and then the prompt. And there's my prompt. Not changing anything. I'm just going to do it. Now, when I press it, it's supposed to create it. So here it is here. It's waiting to start down at the bottom. It's highlighted. Other people are creating stuff too. So I got to keep an eye on mine to see when it's going to start doing. There it is. Okay, it's starting to create it. I'll have to keep it in view. And then when it finishes, I have to go down to the bottom. Now, this is where the free version of MidJourney to sample is really difficult because of the fact that you have to follow, you got to look for your freaking message. Now, if you were a paid version, you would be the only one in a channel or with a bot or on your own server doing it. So I think it created it. There it is. So this is what it created for us. Can I make this any bigger? And I open up in a browser? Yeah, that's good. There we go. So this is what it created. Now, completely different than what we were looking at before, correct? I mean, it's similar, especially this one here at the bottom corner, the bottom left-hand corner, but it's different. Now, are there any like inaccuracies or deformat or anything that we look at it, we're like, the ship looks messed up, the wave is wrong, whatever? No, there's not. That's the thing with MidJourney. It's almost as if they get it right from the start. Like I'm going to say it. MidJourney is almost flawless. I saw MidJourney was doing prompts in his DM with MidJourney, so this stuff didn't get buried. Yes, once you have a paid subscription, you're doing it in DMs. You can do it in DMs. You can do it through the bot. You can do it on your own Discord server. Also, there's a way of actually incorporating it in there. It's crazy. I don't like doing it on the newbie one. Has to be the paid version, yes. But right from the start, man, they got it done right. So let's try another one. And by the way, if I liked any of those, I got to find them. Okay. So here's what the other thing that they do. If you like any of these and you're like, I want more of that same version, you can click on version 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it will actually give you 4 more of that version. If you like any of them that you want to use and upscale them, then you simply press U1, 2, 3, or 4, and it will upscale it. And that's the way that works. So let's take the prompt from the guy that we were doing, the guy with the man's spirit departing from his body. And we're going to try that one in here. So I'm going to say, imagine, oops, I got to do the /. Imagine, and I'll put that prompt in, go to the bottom, and I'll say, see what happens. And so let's see what it's going to do with this. Now we're waiting. Yes, it's there. I don't use it. Don't worry. I was asking a question at one point or another. Just for you, I'll get out of it. I don't really use any. It's funny. There's a lot of these Discords I don't even use. I like do it for support for them. So okay, so here is the. I'm kind of scared because a couple of them look nude, but I don't think so. I hope not. Let's do. Okay, they're not nude. All right. Well, they're nude, but they're not nude. You know, and like nothing's showing. Okay, open in browser. So this is the interpretation that it got from that prompt that we were trying to do. I was a subscriber at one point. I was for a month because like I said, he helped me. Stop it. Leave me alone. I'll take my toys and go play somewhere else. Anyways, so this is the interpretation that this got from the what we were trying to use before. Unfollow. I don't use this Discord. Stop it. So again, it's pretty, is it accurate? Is it flawless? In this particular case, when it comes to people, I'm not going to say it's completely flawless because there are some things that are wrong with this. There are some anatomy problems with this, some facial issues. But then again, we really didn't get into defining exactly what we wanted. It's better than the Leonardo one. Yeah, it definitely is better than the Leonardo one. And that's why I was showing you. Even the boat one, like this is better. Now, so I guess it comes down to which one do you want to pay for? Now, I like the fact that with the Leonardo one, though, and I got to go back to it. I forgot. I closed it up. Let me bring it up again. What I like with the Leonardo one is that I have more control. Okay. So with Leonardo, we had more control. Trying to find one of the first ones. Okay. So much more clear. Oh, seriously? I just changed the size here. It looks, the quality is better. I have a little more control on Leonardo's side with the width, you know, the guidance and so forth. And I'm sure once we are a paid version, the number of steps you use, some things are going to open up a little bit more. With the Discord version of, where's my Discord? Here it is. I have less control here. My control is based on what I put in, my actual wording. And that's the main difference that I see when I look at, you know, between Leonardo.ai and MidJourneys, is the fact that I have a little bit more control over what I'm creating on Leonardo as opposed to here. But if I want something flawless, now let's go back and grab this graphic. I hope I have enough left in Leonardo. I mean, not Leonardo, in MidJourney. So let's go back to MidJourney. And I want to do graphic t-shirts, right? Like the guy was showing in the picture. Oh, what is that? That looks pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to do mine now here. And this was the dog. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's try that again. Be like, stupid. Somebody sees my name and go like, dumb Nord doesn't know how to use it. Imagine, and there's the prompt. Now let's do it. Okay, here it is. I like the interface. Now wait till you see Stable Diffusion's interface. And I know I showed it to you before. Okay, so now I'm waiting for my graphic t-shirt vector of a cute, happy dog wearing sunglasses, detailed design, colorful contour, and so forth. All right, it's already started. So it started right there. Is it going to get it right the first time? My bet is on yes. Look at this. It's already, I can already see. But I have no control of making it any different. The guy that was doing this on the video last night came out with very similar designs. And that's where I'm like, you know, I'm kind of disappointed to the point that it's always going to look like MidJourney. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's always going to be what MidJourney pushes out. If I do it again, I'm going to get very similar things. And let's test that. Same image prompt. So imagine. Same one. I think I'm pretty sure I have enough. I don't know at this point, but people putting pictures of somebody else up there. There it is. Okay, so it's generating new ones. Is it going to be similar? Is it going to be the same? I don't know. Let's see. 62%. Okay. All right, here we go. Ones on the left were created first. Second time around, the ones on the right were created. Very similar, same kind of style. This for me, if I were trying to do t-shirts or designs, if I'm leaving it up to MidJourney to push my prompt through, it's going to come out almost the same all the time. And then somebody can take that same prompt that I just took from the guy that was doing the video that was explaining this and do the exact same thing and come out with basically the exact same image. And that's where I think, as good as it is, it's never going to be, yours is never going to be unique to the point where no one can create one just like it. So I don't know. That's where I've kind of like, I'm on the fence with this, with using MidJourney, because it's so closed in the box. I've got no control. You can do variations of it, like I said, and there are, you know, it's never going to be exactly the same, but it's going to look similar, and that's okay. But I just don't like the fact that I don't have the control, the full control of it. So that's my only disappointment with MidJourney. Do they do a great product compared to the other one? Absolutely. Can I get close to their product with another service? Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty close. But yes, MidJourney does do a great job. I signed up for Leonardo, joined the Discord, and filled out the form on Discord for whitelisting faster. Perfect. There you go. Good job, bro. That's the way you do it. So that's it. So those are those two. Now I'm going to move on to Stable Diffusion because I want to show you the same prompt in another format. So I'm going to leave these open so that we can refer back to them. I'm going to just drop them down here. I'm going to get out of Discord so Brink can stop making fun of me for following certain people. All right, now I'm going to go to, now I've got it set up already. So all I have to do is click on my web UI user shortcut, which is a batch file, a batch program or batch file. And what this does is it automatically checks to see if it's up to date, if it needs to download anything from GitHub to update it. So it checks for everything that's already updated. And by the way, I do have a plugin associated with my Photoshop that I can actually do Stable Diffusion and AI generation right within a Photoshop, whatever artwork or whatever I'm working on. And I also have it to automatically launch Stable Diffusion, as it did there on the interface. This is a web interface. Additionally, I have something called Xformers or XTformers. I forgot. I think it's Xformers. And that minimizes the amount of GPU used as well as the speed of the processing. All done. I made it. Got to get coffee though. No problem. Go get your coffee. Okay. Stable Diffusion is the main AI created for generating art. However, that's what all these different these AI generations are off of. However, the UI is what you're using to use Stable Diffusion or to create in it. It's hard to explain it that way, but this UI that we're looking at is called Automatic 1111. And so you look up Automatic 1111, you'll find a GitHub page and you'll find the instructions how to do it. If you're part of our Discord, there is a Stable Diffusion channel where you can actually get all the information, all the videos on how to walk through and install this on your own. This is the one that I use the most. If you notice the difference really quickly, you can already know the difference between the Discord MidJourney version and this, but let me show you between the AI of Leonardo and the Stable Diffusion one, which I just had a second ago. Did I lose it? Okay, here it is. Sorry. the difference in what I have to work with is extremely huge. With Stable Diffusion on the right hand side versus Leonardo.ai, I have full control of what I create. I have my prompt, I have my negative prompt. This is text to image. I have the choice of which Stable Diffusion checkpoint to use. In other words, which model checkpoint to use. You know how like they were using Leonardo here. Remember all those models I showed you in the beginning? No. I'll go to the very top of this. All these different models that they have. I have a bunch of models underneath here, as you can tell. I'm going to use... I'm going to use a dark one for this one. The Illuminati, which is one that they use as well, or that I actually saw. So I'll use that. The other thing, if you notice the sizes, image dimensions are right here, and you can control them over here on the right hand side. I can do the same thing with height. The configuration scale is 7. There's a 7. The sampling steps is what we can't control on the free version of Leonardo, but I can control it on my local Stable Diffusion automatic 1111, and I can usually set it to 30. It's kind of like the standard. I can set it to more steps if I want, but 30 seems to be my sweet spot. Sometimes I sell it to 125, depending on what I'm generating. I also have some other things called Restore Faces, which will allow it to fix the faces if I'm not getting the right face. And I can also do tiling. Now, the great thing about tiling is that if you're generating an image, a small image of something, and you want to use it as like a wallpaper or desktop, whatever, you can actually set it to tile so that it just randomly creates like the entire tile version of it. You can also do high res fixes too. Down here is batch count and batch size. That's like making 4 images at a time or so forth. I usually do make 4 images at a time, so I usually have this at 4. My configuration scale stays anywhere between 7 to 14. We'll play with that in a moment. And then I go with the prompts. So let's go ahead and create this prompt of the turbulent swells. And now you're going to see what we're going to get with a local free version of a downloaded model. And it might be crap. And by the way, I'm going to use the same prompt, which to me, it's not the right prompt that they should be using for ships, but whatever. I'm using the same negative prompt here. Pretty much. By the way, the other thing that I can change that I can't change in Leonardo is on the side here, sampling method. I have all these different types of sampling methods I can use. This does change the actual result of the image. I'm going to leave it to the basic one, which is Euler A. Don't ask me to define what they are, but I'm going to leave it because that's the same one that Leonardo was using. So now that we got that out of the way, let me go ahead and make this bigger. By the way, why are you over here? You should be over there. Sorry, I had to pull a window out. Okay. All right, so we got everything ready. I think Pathetic Quacken is back already. Let's go ahead and run this. Shouldn't be getting any naked images, by the way. It's just a ship in a bottle. That's all it is. It's a ship in a bottle. If we get any nakedness, it had nothing to do with me. All right, here we are. There we go. So this is what I was able to create with the free version of the local install of Stable Diffusion Automatic 1111. If we want to compare it to the other ones, let me bring those up real quick. Here's MidJourney's. Sorry, I'll bring them all up. I'm just going to try to get them all in a window that you can see them. Okay. Kind of gives you an idea, just so you can see what we're looking at different wise. So left hand, by the way, this is just clean, no manipulation, no changing the prompt, nothing, using basically the same thing with the exception of using a different model. But other than that, I mean, I'll change the model in a second and run it again. But this left hand side, we have, just moving a little bit. Left hand side, we have Leonardo.ai. Middle, we have Stable Diffusion's Automatic 11, which is the local installed version. Free, cost me nothing as long as I have the model. The model I'm using in the middle is called Illuminati something. The model on the left for Leonardo's Diffusion. And on the right hand side, we have MidJourney, whatever MidJourney is using, directly from that. Same exact prompt. Different results. So, okay, now understand the Stable Diffusion one is very basic, is very mad because it's not tailored specifically to this. Now I can change it up. I can use a different model. So what's we're going to do next? And by the way, it's not like the other ones. It is free. And remember, the idea of this is not, if you look at MidJourney, you're getting a final product. Is the idea to get a final product just from a text prompt, or is the idea to get something that can work in your workflow that you can then finish up on your own? And that, I think, is the difference. There's nothing wrong with either part, like whether you're doing it to get a final product just from a prompt or whether you're doing it to get a product that you can finalize yourself. That, I think, is what the difference is. Illuminati. So let's change this up. I'm going to use a different one and see what I get. I've got a bunch of them to work with. So let me try the OpenJourney one, which is supposed to be similar to MidJourney. I'm not going to say that it actually is, but let's try this one just to see. And I'm also going to, the other thing I did is I didn't use the right height and whatnot. So let me find that real quick. So the height was 640 by 832. So let's do that. 640. I don't know if I did this or not. 832. All right. So let me run it again. And then we're going to change some stuff around. So I'm running it now using something called OpenJourney, which is another, and I don't know. Let's see what it produces. It's too limiting. Okay, this one is not even giving me the glass bottle. Where's my glass bottle? Where is my glass bottle on this? So one of the things that you do, let me let it finish. Okay, no glass bottle. We are inside of it, exactly. So let's do it again, but we use parentheses around what we wanted to really pay attention to. Okay, so let's try it again. You are the bottle. It's like Neo, you are the spoon. Can you bend the spoon? I am the spoon. Again, no bottle. What is it messing up on? It's not finding the bottle. So that's where you have to wonder if the model that you're using is able to handle this type of input. That's why there's different models. So let's try a different model. I'm going to try, let me see. I'm trying to think of one that I use for something else. So I'm going to try, this is more realistic. Let's try Prodigen. I don't know if this is going to actually do it, but we're going to try this one. Okay. There is no spoon. There is not a bottle. So again, we'll try it again. We're using a different Stable Diffusion. Now this is the difference. I wanted you to see the two easy ones first. The one that we had a little bit of control, Leonardo.ai, which we were able to make a really nice image from. I tried the same image in MidJourney through their Discord, which is basically no control, just whatever they dish out, which was an absolute, almost flawless image. And now we have one that we're doing in Stable Diffusion, Automatic 1111, which demands more hands-on knowledge and manipulation to get what you want. So let's see. Now we need a bottle this time, right? Use bottle model. Duh. If they had one, right? So we might not get it, but we're going to try it. Again, no bottle. Isn't it interesting? So this model does not understand. I'm going to run it one more time while we're talking. This model does not understand creating it inside of a bottle. Like, you have to give it more information to get that. I'm going to try one other thing. Now I'm going to show you some other way of doing this in a moment. Just let me, yeah, see, generating again, no bottle. All right. I'm going to look at, what was the one that gave us the bottle? We did, I can't remember. It's an amazing image though. It's just not the image I need. I can take that and put that in a bottle, but it's looks great. It's just not, the images are amazing. I mean, that's a great image, but that's not in a bottle. I would have to create the bottle and put it around it. So, hey, that is one way of doing it. Give me 1 second. Let me find the one I was using. I was using Dream Shaper, I believe. Was it Dream Shaper? I think it was. No, it was Illuminati. That's it. All right, let's see if Illuminati gives me the bottle again. It might not. It might be like, nope, no more bottle for you. You've had enough bottles. It's like a 3D render engines. Some can't do glass very well. Maybe models are the same. It's true. If you did not train that model on doing it, understand these are models that people created and trained them for certain things. So let's try it again. Ready? Here we go. Let me put it on the fourth one. Okay. So we're doing the Illuminati Diffusion, which gave us a bottle at the first time we did it. So let's see. This one knows bottle. It's just not as detailed as the other ones. Yeah. The only thing with using Leonardo and then going to Diffusion is that unless you get, oh, this is actually not bad. Hold on. Unless you understand Diffusion, you're never going to get the image that you want. These are better until you completely understand it. All right, dude, I don't know, but this looks good. Let's bring the freaking MidJourney one out here. I know what you're gonna say. MidJourney is just, you know, it's got more detailed. And again, I can change this to be more detailed, but this isn't bad for free and for having more control. And I haven't even done anything with control yet. So hold on, let me show you this. Where's the other one? I mean, not bad. I mean, it's not bad. If not coded well or trained for it, it doesn't do it. Correct. That's not a bad image. Okay, so here's the other thing that we can do. Now that we have an image, I'm gonna pick one of these. Let me see which one. I like that one, or this one's pretty cool too, but it kind of looks weird. I like this one. Okay, let's pick this one. Maybe. It's either this one. I think it's the first one. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to grab this image. I believe it was that one. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to send this image to image. So now it's here. And now there's something that has opened up at the bottom. It's called denoising strength. I want you to understand the noising strength because it works this way. The lower the number, the more similar to whatever's up there it's going to create. Okay, so still using the same Illuminati. I can change it now and see if it gives me a, I'll change it in a moment and see if it gives me a bottle and the other ones that it wouldn't give me a bottle. But let's go ahead and generate and see what happens. It should create basically the same image. Yep, it did. See, same image. There's like almost like no difference whatsoever. All right, so now let's switch it up. Let's put the denoising to 50%. 4.5. Let's do it again. Again, very similar. Yeah. Couple of little differences. If you noticed, the clouds up here, there's no clouds up there, so the clouds kind of messed up. The ship looks a little bit different, it's a little lighter, but for the most part, everything is pretty much the same composition wise, right? Okay, so let's change it up a little bit more. What if I did 70% or 70.7? Now I'm giving it a little bit more artistic freedom. I want the same thing, but I'm allowing you to change it a little bit. Okay, so it is changing it now. Now we've got the wave is like crashing over us or something. It seems like some of the things have changed, but not a lot. It's still the same image because it's working off of the same image. I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go now to 80. Generate. Now it's when it starts to change. Now it's the same concept, same structure, the wave, the ship looks different. It's going off to the other side. The clouds at the top are like a little bit different. You can tell it's a little bit, it's changed quite a bit, but it's still the same structure. Even the colors in the back are done. If you got to go 100, you should, if you go to 100, you should get Rickroll. Let's see. So now I'm going to go to, I usually go to 90. Let's try 90. And by the way, you can do this multiple times and you'll get different effects, but I'm just doing it one and I'm not doing a big batch, but I want you to see how it's still doing it off of the same image, but it is changing it a bit. So now it's kind of a little bit more calm. Maybe not what I want. All right. So let's do something else. I'm going to bring it back down to 75 and I'm going to change the GFG scale or guidance to 14. What happens then? It is, isn't it? It's crazy how this is taking from the same image. Now, there we go. It's still the same thing, but now it's changed it up even more. It's not a bad image. Now remember, this is still the same model. So what if we kept it at 50% or 0.5, kept it to 7, but changed to, let's say, Dream Shaper. Remember, it didn't give us a bottle before? It was like, yeah, no. So what does it give us now? We're going to do it off of the same image. It's working off of the image. It has a bottle in it. Will it create the bottle? Big question. Okay. It created the bottle. It's very similar to our image. It's got a couple of differences. Looks like ice up on top. Very similar. I'm going to move up. I'm going to do a combination now. I'm going to do 10 on the guidance, and I'm going to go up to 7 on this. Let's go 7.7. I'm going to generate now. Yeah, so Leonardo.ai leans into game assets, which is great for anybody that's creating games or anything like that that really does need those assets. it's Leonardo's. That's one of the reasons why I like Leonardo, because it actually even created icons, like groups of things. I still haven't figured out how to do that because I was like looking for it, but there's a way that you can create like a collection of icons that you can use within a game or for yourself in any graphic thing. And you can create like groups of them. So, and that's the other thing. Think about this. The fact that you can, once you create an image of something, like let's say an icon that you want to use for your game, and you want other icons similar to that one, you do it off of that first one. You're like, I want other things just like this one, which is what I'm doing right now. So I don't like this one. I'm going to generate one more time. But you notice that it's changing. It's not using the same model, but it's using an image from a different model to create something similar. Completely different. And there's a little boat down at the bottom. You probably could. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. And that's what I was looking for that, because somebody mentioned that to me before, that you can do icons on it and an icon set. And I was like, really? And then I was like kind of looking at it, and I never tried it. So I have to work on that. Let me change this up a second. I'm going to switch over to, there was one that's more realistic. Let's try Protogen. The bottle is super wonky. Yep. But notice the details though, and it looks like it's coming off the side. Okay, this is kind of nice. Now this is a completely different model, but it doesn't look accurate enough. So I'm gonna lower this down because it's giving it too much artistic freedom. Let me see what happens. I want to keep it very similar, but I want it in a different style. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, perfect. So now this is something I like. The reason why I was doing this is because I did like this image, but what I didn't like was this fake little cloud above the water rim. The only difference though, if you notice this, does this really look like it's in the bottle, or does it look like you're looking through the bottle? Yeah, the ship had another ship coming through it. I saw that coming out of the bottom, its side. Yeah, I saw that. So when I look at this, is it a ship that's in the bottle, or is it a bottle that's on the floor that you're looking through the bottle to see the ship? It looks a bit of both, in the bottle and looking through it. And I think that's the beauty of this. So there we go. So we prompted an image off of text from somebody else's image. We created this same thing through not only Leonardo, which is where we started off, which I'm trying to get to one of the bottles there. Yep. But we then went a step further, and then once we generated an image that we liked, we then created another image off of that image just to change it up. And I didn't do any of the crazy stuff like, you know, change this, create these, you know, give it more of this. I didn't do any of that. I just wanted a simple run through. That's pretty good. And we came out with something that we could possibly use if we wanted, if this was an image that we were using for something. So one of the areas that I was trying to do with this, and now that we did that and I gave you those examples, let's do something else. Okay, so we got this. Now we understand how that works. There is a prompt. Oh, by the way, did we do the man? We haven't done the man one. Let's do the man one real quick. So I'm going to go back to text images. And I'm going to put this. I'm going to leave this negative prompt about the two heads, two faces, and all that other stuff. And then on top of that, I'm going to add the rest of this negative prompt, which is like extra limbs and all that other crap. Okay. I'm going to do this in Protogen. That's fine. We're going to leave that one. We're going to leave everything. And and we're going to generate. Hopefully we don't get no naked men. If we start seeing something naked, we're moving. We're like, we're out. We're like, ah. Okay, it's not doing a guy, first off. Number one, doesn't do a guy. Now, I do know that a lot of these models were not trained with male pictures. A lot of them are trained with female pictures. So notice, like, it didn't even give us a dude. So let's try another one, and let's see. Let's try Illuminati. I like the Illuminati one. It didn't even give us a guy. So we might have to put a man and like put that in parentheses, because it's just giving us women. I have such an ethical dilemma over AI art still, but I can see using it as a tool in my workflow and can't stand in the way of progress, adapt, or fall behind stat. It's true. And that's the thing that I wanted to show you this, because I know we've had these conversations and a lot of us are like, we're stuck on the copyright and we're stuck on the fact that, you know, some artists are being replaced by people that are doing this kind of art. But here's the thing. It's not about being replaced by someone else or technology. Actually, it is by someone else. It's not being replaced by technology. It's being replaced by someone else that's using the technology. And if you are already an artist and you're doing great work and you add this to your flow of work or your process, you're even that much better than them. And that's what I think it comes down to. It's just like programmers that already know how to program, know how to create code and create already, you know, apps, web apps, whatever. Putting this into their tool of taking it to the next level makes them even that much better than the average guy that's just doing coding. It also works faster. And so that's kind of the idea, is to use this as part of your workflow, as a tool, not just as a replacement. Unfortunately, yes, there are people that use this as the replacement, as like we looked at, and I keep bringing it up, but because of the fact that if I was doing these images are freaking flawless. You know, I'm obviously, I can't zoom in on that bottom one. Yeah, I can. I mean, these are some great images. I don't have to do anything to them. If I really wanted to use these images, if I can scroll over, that'd be great. Anyways, but that took me no talent. That took me no creation time. And that's where people are going to be able to make these generic AI things and slap them on stickers or on art, like, you know, art pieces that people hang on the wall, or even t-shirts. But it's that person that already has the creativity that is able to create that stuff that other people can't even think of. That's where it excels. Okay, let's do this. I still feel that this will only increase the value of human created art. So yeah, like, I mean, when you buy something, if you heard it was handmade versus machine made, it's even more impressive because of the fact that, you know, it's almost like if it's one of a kind and only a person can make this, versus something that is done from a mold and it's done over and over and everybody can have one of them. It's completely different. Absolutely, I agree with that. And that's where I think, yeah, you're right. You know, human created art has a huge value to it because a person actually made it by hand. It stands the test of time. I mean, we are still celebrating and paying high value for artists that created things on their own with their hands. You guys can think off the top of your head, all these different artists from the past that their paintings still sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars because nobody can ever make one like them, the masters. There's no duplicate to that. Even if they used AI to create a copy of it, it's a copy. It's not the original that that person made. I'm excited to see what I can do from picture to picture from some of my paintings and illustrations. Yep. So interestingly enough, like, remember Fat Cat said you should try the dwarf picture and see what I can create. So I tried to do it with the dwarf picture and it just, it was very complicated where it was changing him around, but there were some things that were just completely wrong. And I think that has to do with the fact that there was a lot of the colors of the dwarf picture that I was using were very blended together, and a lot of them look like overlapping. So you couldn't really tell where one thing ended and one thing started. So the computer kind of got confused. But if it's artwork that's well detailed or well defined, where you can see separate objects on it, it can do a great job with that. All right, so here's the example that we got from creating this guy. A view of turbulence. No, that's not it. A man's spirit departing from his body. It doesn't look very impressive. It's still kind of like just a guy walking. I'm going to do it one more time, just see what we get. Can I send you a picture and see what the AI does? Yeah, absolutely. If you don't mind me doing that on stream. I mean, if you want, I can do it for you right now. Put it on Discord. So this is just to show you that the same prompt that we used in Leonardo versus the same prompt we used in MidJourney, and now using here on Stable Diffusion with a different model, is always going to produce something different. All right. These are not bad, but this is maybe not exactly what we were looking at when we started out with this idea. Let me try a different. See, Illuminati is always good, though. I like their shadows and stuff. I'm very careful with which one of these I'm using, because some of them may not give us what we're looking for. Let's do RPG. I think that one's more like Dungeons and Dragons style. I gotta find it real quick. No problem. Take your time. Yeah, just drop it into Discord or send it to me in Discord chat, like DM. Do one more. Again, it just gives me girls. Some of these are just specific to women. I'm going to change the prompt real quick. Let's see if it gives me a man. But it's not giving me, you know what it is? You have to say standing pose. So I'm going to write a man standing pose with his spirit departing from his body. Let's see if that, and I'm going to put man. Let's see what happens. Standing pose, not post. Can't find a picture of it, and the original is in storage. Oh, okay. Well, send it to me next time if you want, and I'll do it. I'll run it. I'll send you a couple of images that it doesn't. Yeah, see, it doesn't. This one doesn't do it. So some models are only trained to do. It's weird. It shouldn't. It should actually give me a dude. Let me try this. If it gives me a girl again, we're switching models. Some of these models are only trained to produce mostly women. Was curious to see what it would make of a weird character I painted. It was a wizard mouse smoking a pipe, and the smoke was turning into a creepy smoke monster. Okay, let's try it. This is just giving me women. I'm gonna switch. It's not even recognizing. Here, let's try that. That's a good prompt. All right, I'm gonna try it under Dream Shaper. I like Dream Shaper. I always start out with Dream Shaper or Illuminati, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this out, leaving a trail of ethereal, full body. Okay, we're gonna take all of this out. We'll see what else we need to take out, but let's try it. So it's gonna be a wizard mouse smoking a pipe. smoke turning into a creepy smoke monster. Creepy smoke, yeah, smoke monster. Ultra high definition, very detailed, perfect. Unreal Engine 5, 12K high quality, whatever, photographic, realistic. Some of these prompts don't apply to certain models too. That's the other thing. If the model isn't trained to listen to any of this, it might not even work. Lightning in the background. I'm going to take off that. No lightning in the background. In studio, I don't know what that means. Photography, full, long, highly intricate, detailed. I just already said that. Let me get rid of that. Light and shadow effects. Yeah, let's leave that. Intricate, highly detailed, digital painting. I don't know why they put ArtStation. It's because they're running off of ArtStation. I'm going to take that off. Concept art, smooth, sharp focus, illustration, advanced digital anime art, atmospheric lighting, detailed face, 8K, and again, ArtStation, which we're getting rid of. I don't know why it says 8K if it already said 12K. So get rid of 8K. Okay. Let's try that. Sounds like a scene out of Fantasia. My son went through a phase where he loved mice and I loved wizards, so I painted a mashup of the two. People told me I should make a book out of it, but I never had the time. All right, so there we go. So let's try this, and we're gonna run it, and I'm gonna put this in 10. See what we get. You should do that, bro. Hey, guess what? ChatGPT can help you with that too. I can do that for you right now. Okay, so far, it's got something. We're going to change it up. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. I think the dimensions are good. Let's see what it does. Okay, so is this anywhere close? It's a start. Maybe a magic and ChatGPT, exactly. It's not what we're looking for, but it's a start. I bet if you were quick enough, you could make some bank on the first ChatGPT book for kids. Bro, where have you been? There are already people making money on these books. People are making freaking ChatGPT books. They're on Amazon already. But yeah, but here's the thing. Again, this comes down to if you have a good story already and you have ChatGPT help you with completing that story or putting it together or the outline, whatever, you can have a really great story to sell. And then you put some great images of your own style in there. And by the way, did I not mention that you can actually train your own model, your own art generated AI model off of your own images of artwork that you create? So it can actually create the art based on your own images. That's pretty crazy. All right. Especially for an artist. Can you imagine generating your own model on all your artwork? And then you're like, I feel like doing a new painting. I don't feel like painting. Let me go ahead and let AI generation create my own style of painting with my model. And then you create your freaking model. You never have to paint again. I'm telling you. All right, let's see. Let's do this again. I think I need to change this up again. As wizard mouse, full. Let me high definition. Okay. Full body. Let's try it again. And then we're going to switch models if this one doesn't work. And like you can sit here and have it generate over and over until you find something that you're happy with. What the hell is happening on that first one? Okay. Smoke outlines. Let's change this. Okay, so this is another set. Obviously, I don't know what's going on. He's smoking a mouse. The fourth one is kind of tight. So this one, yeah, this fourth one, let me bring it up close. It's pretty cool. He's smoking a hookah. Let's look at this one. It's just a smoking mouse. And this one looks more like a cat than a mouse, but let's run it one more time. Let me see if I want to change anything. And yeah, that's fine. Let's see, full image go. So obviously, if we had the time, we would sit here and we would change the prompt and we would add to the prompt. And then there is another way of doing this, which I have not perfected yet, but I'm going to show you. Oh, wait, this is nice. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, if you were trying to do a kids one, there's one. That obviously is just naked mouse. That right there, that's a little character. He's not smoking, but that's a little character. Let's see, let's move on. That's another one. That's another good little character right there. So pick one of these for a second. I want to try something. I'm just curious if this works. While we're doing this, I sent you a picture. Okay, cool. I'll use it. Let me just grab this for a second. I'm gonna go over to MidJourney. Let's see what MidJourney pushes out. Okay, you sent me the picture. All right, I'm gonna look at it. Hold on, let me just see what MidJourney throws out. Mine's better, so take that. Yeah, exactly. Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. It's like yours is still be better. So we're gonna use your image and see what happens. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Okay, let's see what this is coming out with. All right, now I can go down and find them. There it is. That is pretty freaking amazing, though. The detail that these guys can do, though, that's where it's like, man, I just wish they had a user interface, a better user interface. And it's just the detail and style of what they do. Right? It's crazy. This is what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to try something. Where's Leonardo? All right, Leonardo. We're going to do the same thing here. It's amazing. I need the hold on, I need the right prompt though. I need this. Let's use Leonardo Diffusion, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So let's see what they do. 24 of those and 24. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Generate. Let's see what we get. I'm using 7 tokens on this. I don't know. I guess the more, depending on which prompt you use. No smoke monster, they'll fail. Yeah, that's the only thing. So it's getting that. But here's the thing. I want to show you something else. All right, so see, this is their version. Those are cool though too, right? Okay, I'm gonna switch their Leonardo Diffusion to Leonardo's signature. I want to see what their signature version does. 768. Go ahead and generate. Same thing. Second one is adorable. Yeah, I got it's right here. This one. Yeah, that's a cool one though. So I want to try something. This is totally not. This is definitely not what we're. I don't like this style. So let's switch to another style real quick. We did diffusion. We did. Let's do select. It's crazy, but I'm telling you, depending on the model that you use, will change the outcome. Don't waste all your token. Ah, don't worry about it. I get new ones, and plus, I'm definitely gonna be buying a Leonardo subscription. Okay, so this is more cartoony, but I prefer the more realistic classic style. Like this, I don't like any of this. I think this is stupid. This is like freaking Disney World. So honestly, from Leonardo, I like this style. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can download. I'm gonna download this image. Okay. Save image as, where can I put it? Desktop, that's fine. I'm gonna save that one. Okay, let's bring this down. Now I'm gonna save. I'm gonna upscale one of these images. Let's say the I don't like it. I mean, I like it, but I don't want to mess with this. They have little pipes. Mine had. Okay, I'm gonna use your picture in a second. I'm not gonna save any of these. All right, let's go here. And let me grab. I'll start with this one first. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to try it. So if I can enable this and do open pose. I'm going to grab your image in a second. S640 by 832. I want to see if it changes its pose. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put the image. I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, I forgot. I got to get the image. Because otherwise it's not going to give me anything. Where is the image? Copy image. Can I paste it here? I wonder if I can just paste. No, I can't. Cancel. Save image as desktop. Mouse. Okay, then I go here. Desktop. Okay, let's see if it does it. Generate. This is the part where I'm trying to focus on this side, image to image, and focusing on how this, like, open pose is one of them. If you can get it, see, it doesn't grab the pose. That's the problem. So there's a way of doing it where you get the pose and you can change the pose around and it will create the same character in different poses. And that's the next part that I'm working on now. And the other thing that I want to work on is For example, the image, this drawing stuff here. I need to turn off this model. And there's a way of also doing it where you block out what you don't like. So for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to do this for a second. And it's like you do only masked and you have it regenerate. And so it changes, it should change, if it works, it should change that one part. So now, instead of it was holding like a candle, now it's holding something completely different. But remember, this is based on the fact that what it took was the prompt and it added the prompt as what I wanted to create. So if I rewrote the prompt to say, give me a candle or a freaking staff or whatever, it would put that in the place of what I masked. That's just an idea, just so you get. All right, let me go to the image, and you wanted to do this image. It's one of those things that always stuck in my head as a project I wanted to do, but never had the time to flesh it out. AI got me thinking about it again. That's what it does. That picture looks like a PSA for why wizard mice shouldn't play with fire. Nice. All right, let me go to Discord and find the image. Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to do this one. Let me reload everything. Save image. Let me see. Can I copy image? Save image to desktop. Mouse pipe. Okay. So this is going to be off of an image, not a text prompt. Okay. All right, there's a couple of ways of doing this. I can run it this way. I'm going to do it a couple of different ways. I can run it this way. I'm going to use, where's that prompt? Damn it. I had the prompt. I should have kept that prompt. What did we say it was? Okay, let's try this. So it should be going off of image to image. And I'm going to leave it at basic at 7, see what it does first. So immediately it gives me something similar in a cartoon form. What was the one that we were using? Illuminati before? We'll try it again on this one. I'm going to create it again. And that is not what we want. Let's create it again. Okay, so it's completely giving me something that does not work with what I'm showing it. So now I'm going to put it based on what I have here. So let's go down a little bit more. Okay, so still completely off. So now we're going to switch this over. We're going to do control net. Grab the same mouse, drop them in there. We're going to enable the sketch mode. Where's sketch? It's called scribble, right? Okay. Now let me see what I create. Okay. So now we're getting closer. It's giving it something a little bit better. So I need to get a little bit more control of this. So I'm curious. I want to see, first I want to get the same aspect and then we're going to change it around. Okay, because it's getting the image. What size is this? Okay. Come on. Seven oh four 512. Okay, now we can do it. Okay, so now that's closer to what you had, right? So it's kind of redoing it. So then this is where we can now increase and see what else it comes up with. But it's sticking to those same colors, right? It's like an old man instead. Do one more thing. Where the hell is mouse pipe? I had it here. Oh, it probably didn't give it an ending. That's why. Okay, so we got that. Canny. Okay. I'm going to switch. I'm switching the models. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a canny, which basically gets the edge or edges, and I'm also doing a sketch. And now here's the other part. Vibrant colors. It's thinking. Oh, error. How do we get an error? Give me a second. No. Oh, the yeah, I think I know what it is. See why can I use this one? Okay, this one off. So now it's getting really creepy. And that's because we changed models. I don't like that model. Let's go back to Dream Shaper. My bad, I broke it. It broke. It broke. You broke my AI generator. Yeah, I like this one better. Don't like that. Oh, 5 704 512. Where is it? Oh. Got to keep the same sizes. I broke it again. No, I was gonna say, damn. Okay, let me change this to be blue. No, natural colors, white backgrounds. Nope. Okay, let's see what it does. Doesn't do the background. Now it's too specific. There we go. All right. So obviously there's work to be done with this one, but now you can see like you have to mess with the settings to the point where you'll start getting some different images. Like this is actually, if this works right, this would be a nice one. So there are some deformities and you can fix, but this is an example of where it can get to. But as you can tell, there's a lot of, like, I didn't explain everything I was doing, but to summarize what I was doing is I was using 2 different control nets. Now that's an additional download that you do and you put into Stable Diffusion Automatic 1111. And the control nets that I used were Sketch, or it's called Scribble, really. It's Scribble, and the other one was Canny. And what this Canny does is Canny gets the edges. It outlines all the edges. So if you have a good drawing that has like perfect edges that you can grab, that's what it's going to take. And it makes an image off of that. Now, in combination with that, I used a second control net, which you can use, I think, 3 or 4, but I used a second one, which was the Scribble one, which basically takes the artwork and does a sketch from whatever scribble you have up there. And then with all that, you start messing with the guidance. Then this is the roundabout summary of it. You make it a little bit more restrictive to not change it too much, or you give it a little bit more artistic flair to kind of change it a little bit. you also start working with the text prompt. And so it's a combination of text prompt and image. And you say, you know, what it actually is. So it knows that, hey, I'm looking at a mouse smoking a pipe with smoke coming out of it. And then you're also saying, can you add some color to it? So make it natural colors and then also make it white background. So you have to see what it's going to pick up on. And then you start modifying it that way. So the more you tweak it and the more you mess with the settings, the different it becomes. I like this one. Like, it's getting closer to what I think we would want to make. But again, yours is very detailed and it's a perfect drawing. And this seems more related to that other piece that we found. Let me find it. Did we save it? I don't know if we saved it. I thought we did. Yeah. Like, this is the MidJourney style. And I think this is more specific to the style that you're coming up with. If I were to create an image or an art book off of that artwork, I think more this than I do what it's giving me from the artwork, if that makes any sense. It's freaking crazy. I'm gonna do, let me see if I can do 4. I just want to do 4 more just to see what it comes up with. But it's pretty crazy though.